It's your boy Prince of Pain with Pop Radio Worldwide, putting on people radio, presenting the beautiful Melanie Hogan and the Chilove Radio Show, coming out of the Midwest, Chicago, South Side, and definitely Humble Park is in the building. How you doing, Melanie?
All is well. It's a great afternoon. Seems like it's some nice weather outside.
Zoom number eight. Zoom number eight.
Zoom number 8. Getting it done one way or another, huh?
Yes, ma'am.
So, good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to the Chilove Radio Show with Pop Radio Worldwide, iHeartRadio, and Spotify Premium. Hosted by yours truly, Melanie, founder of Chilove. The Chilove Radio Show is sponsored by Chilove LLC.
We are admitting Marcel right now to your show, sweetheart.
Okay.
He needs to turn on his camera and stuff, though. Okay, there he go, right there. There he go. How you doing, Marcel?
What's up?
Can you hear us?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, you're in there loud and clear, joining the Pop Radio Worldwide station and the Chilove Radio Show with Melanie Hogan. Welcome.
That's Melanie. I know Melanie. That's my homegirl.
Hey, Marcel. Thanks for joining us today on the Chilove Radio Show.
You get it.
So, now, when we start the Chilove Show, before we go into the topic of the day, we're going to begin with taking 3 deep breaths so that we can ground ourselves, focus, and be in the present.
Okay.
Okay, so we're going to do it 3 times. You're going to inhale and let your stomach push out. And when you hold for 3 seconds, exhale, and then let your tummy fall back in. We're going to do that 3 times. Ready?
Yeah.
1. 2. 3. All right, we should all be feeling a little more relaxed in our neck and our shoulders. Should have felt that energy, that air go up and down in your body here. So, I hope all is well with everyone. Let's start with these updates. Of course, COVID-19 has decided to become a semi-permanent resident for a while. So, let's see how they are affecting the school systems. COVID has affected everything from health to lifespan, the school system, healthcare, everything. There really isn't too much that COVID has not touched. So in the strength of moving forward, as we do here in Chicago, we are going into the phase 4 stage, despite the COVID numbers still continuing to rise. I know that a lot of parents are worried about what they're going to do this fall because they were put in a predicament where a lot of them didn't have health care. So the Illinois school can resume in-person instruction in fall. Governor Pritzker released guidelines for K-12 schools, community colleges, and higher education institutions to resume in-person instruction. The classrooms will have learning opportunities. The classrooms will provide more learning opportunities to help the children learn, socialize, and grow while administering social distancing. And they're going to cut it up a little bit this year. Each local district has the autonomy to kind of figure out and implement how their school year is going to be ran. So it is best to check in with the school district that your child attends to know exactly how they're going to deal with the situation. Nevertheless, all school districts must have the students and the staff wearing masks, practicing social distancing as much as possible. They will have limited indoor gatherings to 50 people and increase the sanitizing of schools and screening the students also. The students and the staff will also be screened before going to school and interacting with everyone else. So I know that a lot of parents are just concerned as a whole as far as what they're going to do. You know, you have to get your money and you have to make your livelihood, but at the same time, you don't want to contract the COVID virus. You don't want your child to contract the COVID virus. And we all know that a simple cold or the flu, especially in the school system, runs rapid. I mean, it spreads like wildfire. So there's a lot of decisions that's going to have to be made. We're going to have to just look at everything from a grand scale and just make sure that, you know, everybody's making the right decision for themselves. I understand that the teachers need their jobs, and of course they want to be back in school. And a lot of parents want the children to go back to school. But the health of everyone is important. You know, we have too many deaths and stuff going on at this time. But this is Chicago, this is the United States, so we're gonna find a way to make one way or another. So all the schools will be allowed to reopen, and the districts can develop their own individual plans, which is good because each district knows the demographics within their communities and should be able to. Hopefully, I hope that everybody is reaching out to the parents and the people in the community as well to see what their input is as far as, you know, having children return back to school, or if it's going to be, you know, every day in class action. So now the state is willing to support this decision, and they will disperse 2.5 million cloth face masks for students and staff. So the parents don't have to worry about having to order all these additional masks and hand sanitizers and everything, because the state is going to provide funds for that. Now the public schools in Illinois will use more than $500 million to get everything together and restore the pandemic stuff from the pandemic, things that's been lacking in light of everything that's going on now with the racism, the George Floyd and so forth, to help especially urban children or children of color, however you want to put it, tap into their skills, their natural skills, and learn, you know, where they come from. So that's a good thing. So then they're going to provide another $54 million from the federal grant. And it's going to go towards additional online learning resources. Now, I think that that's a good option just for parents, especially with the social distancing. The schools are at capacity as it is. So if they could, especially for like older students who are able to stay at home by themselves for a certain amount of time, if they are able to do online courses some of the time, you know, I think that it helps to work out with everybody. Like, what do you all think so far about these changes and the support that they're giving the Illinois school system as far as opening back up in the fall?
What I think is, I don't think it's time to open yet. Not right now. And, you know, the online classes, we just, like as parents, we just gotta continue to push our kids. I know the teachers and the parents miss, you know, the kids being in school.
Right.
But, you know, you gotta also look at the COVID. Like, people getting sick, and, you know, we want, you know, the family to get sick, and then once they go back to school and get sick, and you got grandmas at home and, you know, older aunties, all that stuff, them kids can bring that stuff. Because a lot of the kids ain't been sick, or the parents ain't been sick, but the elderly, or the people who got like diabetes and
some type of underlying condition.
Right.
Yeah.
Asthma, them the ones who's getting sick. So, but
and then recently they said that with this new set of results that's been coming out, the ages, people have been catching it between the ages of, I think, 18 and 34. They're saying that they're starting to see an increase in the younger age people. So, you know, it's really not discriminating against anybody at this point. And like you said, people who have been, have elders at home who they need to be concerned about, or know that they are in constant interaction with the elders, even their own parents. So I think that decision should be made on an individual basis, based on, you know, the demographics of the family and what is needed within their personal family. And the school system should work with the family
Mhm.
and make sure that they can be as safe as possible while still continuing their education. So, you know, we have some issues that's coming up, but we can definitely work through this. Um, like I feel, and I agree with you. Like, yeah, I know that we have to get back to business, and you know they want to get this economy back rolling, but at the expense of everybody's health. Like, what is the boundary line? How far are we willing to go to accomplish these goals? Like, people should not be made sacrifices
Right.
just in the name of rebuilding back up the economy. So, and then they say that in the autumn and the wintertime, we're supposed to be expecting a surge. Other states are having incredible surges. Some of them are having to shut right back down.
Yeah.
So, if we could avoid this situation from getting worse.
Yeah, that's because a lot of the cities opening up too soon.
Yeah.
So a lot of them open up too soon. So they COVID really ain't go nowhere. I know it's hot outside and they're ready to go outside to party and do this, but you still get it outside. You still get it. So it's just like when the guy that George Floyd. So everybody made this big thing, but everybody forgot about COVID. So they're like, oh, we forgot about that.
Yeah.
So it's like, now everybody really getting sick. Now we got to close this up and do this and do that.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's just been a lot to deal with overall in 2020. You know, we're just in June, and it's like we have had enough classes a couple of years already with everything that has been going on. But the state advises schools to place a high priority on students with additional needs that make in-person instruction more necessary. So for the students that it's like they have to be there, they need someplace to be, they're trying to help with that and make sure that you'll be able to have your child in a safe place while you're at work, and especially they're focusing on the students who are under age 13. So they can lessen the burden of child care on the family. So the support, it's a lot of crazy stuff that's going on, but there is support that's still being shown. There is love that is still being shown one way or another. So
I agree with Marcel on about the schools reopening too soon, just like a lot of the economies opening too soon, and it's because the government's broke. You know, number one, they can't keep sending thousands and thousands to each American to even though this was the disaster that they were taken by and created, and they, you know, stipulated these laws and policies, so we can't do nothing but sit at home for 3 or 4 months and shut down with the rest of the world. I agree it's a little bit too soon. I agree they still do not have any control whatsoever other than some, and I believe the host, now you got to look at something. Before we had the government, you know, all shook up every day. COVID at 9 o'clock, 12 o'clock, 3 o'clock, 5 o'clock, 7 o'clock. All they talking about is COVID. You hear me? We ain't heard them talk about no COVID for real, and Trump and none of their ass for about, not about no COVID, about the numbers. He talking about his presidency. He talking about this. He talking about that. He ain't talking about everything. Where Dr. What's his name? Fauci at now? You know, Fauci, whatever that doctor was. So all I'm saying is,
he said that they were doing too many tests, and he was actually at his little rally saying something about telling them like they should pull back from testing. Like
that's exactly my point, Melanie. They was talking about, they was all, you know, jumpy, whatnot. And now that we opening the country, you know, and phasing it out, you both seen that it's a spike in Dallas, Texas. It's a hot spot right now. You go to Dallas, you getting COVID. Ain't no I pray for everybody in Dallas, but that's where it's at right now. You know, one of the biggest hot spots in the world. But I think the only reason the government ain't so worried right now is, and the numbers are really spiking, is because now we actually testing. You know what I'm saying? So we gonna get more numbers. You know what I'm saying? I don't think they worried about it now because they know, okay, now we testing everybody and we gonna get a spike. You know what I'm saying? So,
right, which is logical.
Yeah, you know,
They didn't have all of the testing sites and everything set up when this thing first came out. So it's logical that they would have a spike in numbers. But I guess it's going to have to go with each individual family, and they're going to have to, see what the school is talking about, and then see how if that's going to benefit their family on a personal level. Because, nobody should have to put their health on the line just because, we're trying to get the economy back up and running. So I had a little week for a little bit.
It happens to all of us.
Look out the way.
Yeah.
It happened to all of us.
But I think the online teaching is pretty good too. So, teaching
What,
online.
Marcel? What'd you say, Marcel?
No, I think the online teaching is pretty good. But a lot of the teachers and the students miss the teachers miss their students, and the teachers and the students miss the teachers. So like a lot of them graduate, they're like, I don't want to see my teacher. I want to, I want to hug them, and I want to thank them, and I want to
everything. Yeah.
Again, though, Marcellus, it's not only the CPS, it's everybody right now trying to save a job. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So imagine, okay, the police just saved the CPS contract. Imagine if they wouldn't have got that 33 million. You know what I'm saying? But now, imagine if for the rest of the next 4-5 years, how many teachers do you think would be out the game if it just went to remote schooling? You know what I'm saying?
It'd be a lot of people, because I was a dance teacher at CPS. So, now they had some online dance, and I'm like, okay, that'd be good. So, because and that's what I'm working on now. I'm working on like an organization for fitness. So I do fitness. So I'm a fitness instructor now. So I lit fitness. That's the name of my, lit. Lit means life transformation. So that changed our life around. So and now the kids eat all this bad food. I was like, no, they need the fitness too.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, they do. All this eating around the house and stuff. One thing they say in life is that you gotta be prepared for change.
Mm-hmm.
So this is really one of those examples where we are forced to change the way that we are, living everyday life. So, but at the same time, nothing is more important than your lifespan. The money, none of it is more important than your life, your children's life, and so forth. So we have to just find a way. I'm glad that they open to the business schools to make a combination with the e-learning and in-person instruction. So that they can take some of the weight out. But we also must look at, like you said, teachers who already get back to work, the students are missing teachers and peers and everything. But we also must consider the factor of a lot of parents go to work not just to look after their family, but they go to work to get away from their children. So a lot of people have not spent this much time with their children in a very long time.
Right.
And they
So I think it's actually good, but I think it's actually good for the parents to spend time with their kids.
Right.
And now they can they can teach them about their history, our history. So now it's time to learn about Black history. Steady, you go to school and they teach you about their history. Now it's time for us to learn about our history. So now it's time for the parents to reopen the books, redo Google, redo this.
Yeah, and I agree with it because it's like the parents have, a lot of the parental rights have been restricted, one, and a lot of the parents have gotten comfortable with letting somebody else take lead over their children.
Right.
And then there's a big concern about, well, I can't with my child, but CPD discipline. I can't with my child, but the staff can, you know what I'm saying, suggest discipline. If the parents need to take a more proactive role in being with these children. I'm not saying that you can't have a good time, get you some fresh air, because you need that to balance yourself out. The better mom and daddy is, the better parenting that will happen. So yes, you need that time to where you need some time to yourself sometimes. But
yeah,
our personal children, we created these children. We should not, if we need help, they should be our additional resource. Not depending your child off of somebody and you saying deal with them. You know, so
I agree.
This is also a good time for a lot of parents to see what the teachers have to endure all day in school as well. Because we
exactly
not long enough where some of their behavior is going to stop. So now while you cursing out the teacher, now you can actually see, you know, the behaviors that your child is exhibiting. This is a great time to get closer to your children, to bond more, to see, you know, what else y'all gonna take next and so forth. But I do know that a lot of quite a few parents is like over this. The child is taking too much, and some of them are struggling to provide. And when they can go to school for breakfast and lunch, it was a big help for them. So yeah, we just have to just keep putting our minds together and work it out. And it definitely can be done. But that's enough talk about COVID and everything. I got some character questions. So, Pop, yesterday when I asked that question, you said that everything is basically black or white to you. It's not
pretty much.
So, Marcus, the question is, if pressing a button meant you received $5 million, but it also meant that you killed 5 people somewhere in the world, would you press that button?
You asked me yesterday.
One more time.
Oh, you asked me.
If pressing the button.
Okay. Yeah.
It's pressing the button.
If the person told you, if these people came and told you, if you press this button, we're going to give you $5 million. But when you press the button, 5 people somewhere in the world, just random 5 people somewhere in the world will die once you press this button.
Including one of your family members. Even if you don't like them or like them, but out of them 5 people, one of them is your family member.
No, right now, for the first time,
okay, you don't know them at all. Okay, you don't know them at all. 5 people.
And you push that button, you get $5 million. But 5 people gonna lose their lives. Will you push it?
No.
Okay. Now,
I ain't, because I ain't no murderer, so I ain't gonna that money come and goes, but I ain't no killer, so you know.
Okay. So you know they say we never know what we're actually going to do until we get into that situation a lot of times, or you know, certain
Marcus got a conscience. Marcus got a conscience. Marcus got a conscience in the heart. You know what I'm saying?
So now let's take it deeper. Let's play devil's advocate here. Like you said, money comes and goes. But what if you were, dead broke, like you didn't have 2 pennies to rub together? A single parent, your child is sick. You don't have any link, no WIC, no type of government resources. Would you push that button then?
I don't know. I just gotta try to hustle or something. I don't think I'll push that button. Cause I don't know. Cause I know I ain't got no food or nothing. Mm-hmm. But I mean, killing is crazy. But if I was a hustler, which I am a hustler, I just hustle, do some stuff, you know, to try to get food, to try to get money, to try to get, you know, take my child to the doctor. I just gotta hustle for it, you know.
Okay.
That's just me, period.
Okay. Now, what if, and this for you too, Pop, what if they told you that the 5 people that would die were actually personal enemies of yours? and you wouldn't go to jail, but you'll get that
Now my
bad
enemy,
and your enemy.
I got a lot of enemies, but I and it's crazy because I got a lot of enemies, but I just be like, okay, I look over them. So I still ain't gonna kill them because I don't think nobody, now with them it's probably different. They gonna be like, I'm gonna kill that nigga, oh, I'm gonna do, but with me, I ain't gonna do that. So even if they was my enemies, because God said I make the enemy a footstool. So
right.
So
I told you yesterday, God bless the child that can hold his own, right? You made me light up a cigarette and think about that one, right? But I don't even wish death or hate upon my enemies. You know what I'm saying? That ain't gonna get you nowhere. You know what I'm saying?
It ain't. You're right.
You got to kill them. You got to kill your enemies and your frenemies and your fake me outs with success. You know what I'm saying? That's how you kill them.
Success, kindness,
and success, baby. That's how you do it. You know what I'm saying?
That's it.
I love my haters. My haters keep me popping. You hear me? My enemies keep me popping, keep me sharp. You know?
Okay. Now, what if this person, okay, we got enemies. We got enemies who
really
don't like
the
downfall.
You really want me to hit the button, don't you?
But they
She trying to make it real temple, boy. The baby ain't got no money.
We got 3 people here who are all overall saying that we will not push that button. And yet we have so many deaths and murders and shootings going on. It got to be some type of circumstances that is the bottom line for somebody to where they able to push the button, pull the trigger. So we just got to explore. So what if this person, one of these people, you actually witnessed brutally murder somebody in your family that you consider your part? Like, this is your life.
If they did something to the mama, give me the $5 million. I'm hitting the button. You know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna lie to you. That's the only way you can push me over you know what I'm saying? You do something to my mama, I'm getting your family. You understand? I'm getting you and the whole family. You understand what I'm saying?
Because you only got one mama, so
yeah. So I'm gonna hit the button. I'm gonna hit the button for him and 10 people. You understand what I'm saying? You just made me hit the button. See what I'm saying? You made me hit the button.
What about you, Martha? What did you witness this person brutally? Like this person that they killed, this is your heart right here. Like, you don't know how you would make it if you want them to be in here. Would you push the button in?
I don't know. I don't think so. Cause I don't know.
You're a better man than me.
Okay. What about if somebody molested or raped your child? Or
I just cut it off. I just cut them off. I ain't gonna kill them. I just cut it off.
Castrate them. You castrate them. I said you castrate them.
I got to catch in. I cut their penis off. Of course.
Yeah.
I say I'm gonna kill them, but they gonna be suffering because they ain't gonna have no more penis.
Now
or the people in the jail, or people in jail gonna take care of that.
Yeah, that is.
My people in jail gonna take care of that.
Okay. Let's say if this person watched law-abiding citizen and decided to find out how he could commit this crime and still make the law work in his behalf.
Say that one more time.
Say that this person who raped somebody or molested somebody, say that they're a fan of the movie Law-Abiding Citizen, right?
So somebody raped a law-abiding citizen. Okay.
Yeah.
What happened?
So he knew that he was going to rape the person. And he also did his measurement plan to find out how he could make the legal system work on his behalf. Because see, the law is not just about exposing the truth. It's not really about the truth. It's about what you can push off as the truth, what you can see, get others to perceive as truth. So what
So you know
he
what's
really
crazy?
didn't get that together. And he said, and he smirked at you after the judge let him walk out because it wasn't enough evidence. A lot of times in rape cases, there isn't enough evidence.
You know what's
And a lot of
crazy? I was just looking at this show with something about that called 13 Ways or something like that. And it was this rich boy, and he was raping all these girls. But he was paying people off, but a lot of people didn't have no evidence, even though they was telling their story. But in the long run, he got it in the end. Like, I think one of his.
Are you one of those people who believe that you should take justice in your own hand, or let karma or life catch up with them? Because if this is
I think that karma gonna catch up with him. Somebody gonna do it, but that karma gonna catch up with him, because the karma caught up with a old boy. Even though he was changing his life around, he started seeing it like, dang, I raped these girls. I want to apologize. But at the end of the day, that karma come on to you anyway. So, if it don't happen to you, it's gonna happen to somebody.
True. Okay. So they call that being like a vigilante, when somebody knows that somebody is, like you say, a serial rapist. So sometimes people don't want this person to do it to anybody again. And we have certain people who are willing to take the law into their own hands to make sure that these children and these women and even these boys are not being molested or raped. I'm asking these questions for a reason. Okay, so
you smoking cigarettes over here thinking about all this brutal stuff, man.
What you say, Pop?
You got me smoking cigarettes.
I remember him. Now I remember I remember the DJ. I remember him. He be going to the comedy shows with Don Ski now.
Who, Pop?
Talk about me?
Yeah.
No, I'm an artist though. I don't know that brother there, and I ain't done a comedy show in about 4 years when I used to do the spoken word stuff. But I be performing music. I've got joints with Cold Hard, Crucial Conflict, joints. I do music.
I thought you'd be up there with Leon Rogers and them.
I have rocked up, but it was music. I was rapping. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Yeah.
Papa. Okay.
Okay, so we were talking about the vigilante. So that was my next question. If they didn't do anything wrong to anybody that you knew, but you knew that this man was not to be stopped, like he was not, like the only way that this man was gonna stop raping children or raping women or molesting children was if he caught a bullet or that button was pushed. Would you step up?
Yeah.
What if this man?
You want to go first, Marcel?
No, you can go. No, what I do is I just call some people. I just be like, look, I need you to take care of this. You'll get $5 million. I ain't saying I'm gonna punch the button. I get somebody else.
You still pushing the button. It's still you pushing the button though. But yeah, I mean, I feel, you know what? Like I told you yesterday, a lot of things in this world are black and white. You know what I'm saying? You got the good and the bad, and you either gonna be righteous or you gonna be, evil, corrupt ass soul, because that's just the way it is in my eyes. You know what I'm saying? So I've learned to become a forgiving person after doing 20 years locked up.
Okay.
But, you talking to a person when my daughter was sexually molested while I was locked up doing the 20 years. And so I'm going to give you a real answer. I'm not going to give you no fake answer. If I would have caught a child molested in a penitentiary in Stateville, Menard, Pontiac, Galesburg, Danville, Dixon, Lawrenceville, Pinckneyville, any of them joints where I was at, he was going off the tier within 24 hours. He was gone. We were going to get him. You know what I'm saying?
They don't like child molesters in jail. You're right.
And, if you a man and you got to take something, that's just sick. It's wrong. You know what I'm saying? So, I hit a few buttons for the motherfuckers, to tell you the truth. You know what I'm saying? For a child molester.
Yeah, that's
a rapist. You know what I'm saying?
Like, but if I call,
I guess I'm not forgiving enough yet. I still got some work.
So check this out. Now, if I caught somebody doing that to my child, I shoot them. If I caught them doing it, I shoot them right in the head. Like, for real.
But how about if she got out that situation, right? And it just happened 30 minutes ago and showed up at your crib crying, Daddy, he did it. He over there. You know what I'm saying, bro?
Yeah, that's a straight beat down. If she got away from it, and I find that person, that's a straight beat down. I ain't gonna kill him or nothing, but I'm gonna beat him down until I'm gonna break some arms, some legs. I mean, like I said, I even cut off his penis. Like, you ain't gonna do this to nobody else.
Okay, see, that would be my bottom line, making sure that you never do this again. That you never do this again. Because, see, people could take a couple punches up at the head and a couple kicks to the stomach, and then they still going on to do what it is that they want to do. But there should be, in what circumstances, let's talk about, because we're talking about the killing, and the killing needs to be stopped. The killing between the police and the residents, the killing between, the black on black crime, or whatever that they call it. How come we don't hear white on white crime or Latino on Latino crime? Why is it just black on white crime, black on black crime?
I got a question for you. So you remember, so say for instance, the police did it, like raped your daughter. What would you do? Because you remember, it was a couple of polices locking them girls up, raping them in jail.
Right.
So what would you do? What would you do to that police?
Same thing I do to the
thankfully,
maybe worse.
Thankfully, with the police order, and a part of them being,
I think I let him live.
They have to live in the city of Chicago. So I'm not like when the whole looting and everything was going on in the rioting, and they were hitting the stores that didn't have anything specifically to do with the police situation. I'm a group type of person. So outside of losing my mind and putting together some type of strategy, because at this point, I don't trust that the law will protect us.
I need to ask you the same question, Melanie. We need to ask you the same question, honey. You can't just be putting us in no hot seats and not answer these same questions, baby. You know, you look beautiful. It's Yo Shot Love Radio, but Pop got to know. If your son,
I am against unnecessary violence. I am against unnecessary.
If your son was violated at a young age, 14, 15, by a sick old teacher or an employer or a mentor, whatever the situation may be, and he violated the manhood of your son, would you hit the button?
At that point, I need to be I'm gonna be the last ICC. Y'all know, like that R. Kelly, he was on down low video when he had him up in the desert. He was like, "Look at me, I did."
Yeah.
It's not a shoot from. I don't believe in shooting from across the street. I don't believe in shooting into a crowd of innocent people. From my people's history, we know about taking you. I don't want no interruption. Because see, I low-key feel like when people be out in the street, you talking about you're a savage because you would do it out in the public. I was like, low-key, you kind of want something to come along and try to stop this from happening or to intervene with it. But the fact that you showed up, you still supposed to get some strikes. But no. If you really want to do something, you don't need any interruption. So if that's the case, you gotta put some stuff together and take Mama Diddy out with it. I'm gonna take Mama Diddy out with it.
So check this out. You remember what the mob used to do? I think we need to go back there, like bury people alive, make them some cement shoes. Get them some cement shoes.
I have seen monsters. You know what I'm saying? I have seen Satan eye to eye. And they are not going to stop. Some people are not. It doesn't matter the love that you give them, the hug, the resources that you provide, the counseling. It does not matter. some people have made up their minds that they're going to walk a certain lifestyle. And the only thing that's going to stop them is if they are laid down. So in those extreme cases, then we got to lay them down. If you are a threat for us, we all have to share this space here.
Your sound went out, Melanie. Your sound.
Okay.
Oh, there she is. Okay.
Like it used to go down the way that it did with Barack Obama when he had put that hit out. And he called, they called him back, they said it is done. So Osama bin Laden, it was time for him to go. It's certain people, like in those type of situations, or with those type of areas and characteristics, certain people need to go. If you can't, we have to make this work out to where everybody is in agreement to do what's best for everybody. And if we have some people who are just the poison and the cancers in the communities and in the situations, they don't want to reform. They don't want. And especially if they continue to still get out here and get to doing what they're doing, and you hitting innocent people, then you gotta go. You gotta
check this out, man.
And there was my next question, like, what are circumstances that would be justified for a person getting killed? So we talked about, some rape, some molestation. That's kind of justified for a person getting killed, kind of not, I guess, depending on who it is. I do know that rape and molestation should be taken very, very seriously, because a lot of kids are messed up to this day because somebody was touching on their baby, somebody was exposing their baby to some stuff that they had no business being exposed to. They told an adult, and the adult blamed them. The adult protected the adult protected the other adult, and not the child.
Let me intervene on you. So I talked to one of my friends. It was crazy. How you brought this up? Because one of my friends, I was talking to her, and usually I was like, hey, what's going on? How you doing? And she's like, I'm upset. I don't feel like talking. I say, what's going on? What happened? She say,
yeah,
her 3 little babies, two boys and 1 daughter, went with the daddy to his house. She said, don't have nobody around my kids. He let his brother in the house. His brother had the kids, he was molesting the kids. He had the boys like rubbing on his penis while he was, rubbing on their booties. Like this happened.
That's how I
like this week.
Soft touches and stuff. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think he probably hit one of them trying to suck his penis. And then, like, the kids came home and told her. So I was like, the first thing you need to do, you call the police. Like, I called the police, so they looking for the brother. And she said, why didn't you protect your kids? These your kids. He said, that's my brother.
Right.
I say, my brother probably would have been dead, hurt real bad if he touched my kids. Like, I don't care, family. All family ain't family. A lot of
children have to be bad rap.
Yeah, all family ain't family. That's what I tell people. I say, because that's your brother, doesn't mean he your family. Yeah.
Right.
The people outside.
I was talking about that earlier. It's the difference between kin and family. Damn right.
Because
if that was your real brother, he would have never violated your children like that. He would have never.
Right.
Family is supposed to protect the children. But unfortunately, more than likely, it is the family who initially hurts and traumatizes the child, which pushes them out into the street or into somebody, some man who's going to continue to abuse them. Like the families need to reground and recondition. Nobody is perfect, and we all have things that go on. But when it comes to the safety of the child is innocent. I don't care how smart mouth they themselves are. They, some of them got some little hands on, you know what I'm saying? They try to fight back. It's still a child. It's a significant difference between your brain as an adult and the brain of a child.
Right.
Children mimic so much. Parents have to do whatever is necessary to protect their children. Now, I ain't gonna go too deep up in it, but
By now you'd have been deep the whole show.
No, I can't now y'all finish that.
You've been deep. You got me smoking, drinking coffee over here, thinking about all this brutal shit, what decisions I got to blow up, and you know, got me questioning if I'm all right. You know what I'm saying?
A situation happened, and it's not even just the adults in the family or the older people in the family. You also have to watch out for the children in the family. A lot of people feel like, oh, if the kid's quiet, that's good. No, sometimes the kid's quiet and you need to go check. If you hear anything that's, outside of the norm, you need to go and check. Nevertheless, a situation occurred where I was just going to prepare myself to go to jail. I was going to prepare myself to go to jail. And it was like, that was just the bottom line for me. And my baby guy had this lady. She a little pastor or whatever. And she on the other little side. She had her call my phone. And she said, who's going to help at this time when your child is hurt and that child gonna need some help? If you in jail, who gonna help that baby heal so that they can pick back up the pieces of their lives and try to restore some type of normalcy so that they can live the life that they are ordained to live. So sometimes you put in situations to where death is looking like the bottom line for a person. And it's kind of on you to do it or whatever. But now you faced with having to go and make sure that this person never ever do it again, or you make sure that your little mother ass kids never ever do it again, or focus on putting your household back together from some shit from some outside motherfucker. Excuse me. So sometimes you put up in a position to where you gotta choose and you gotta weigh everything out. And pop your black and white thing just have my little brain wrinkling. Because when we are faced with certain things, we immediately think of how we may respond to it, or what's the best way to respond to it. But sometimes, especially when it's with children, and you are the primary caretaker for them, sometimes you can't go and pull that trigger.
I never said, Melanie, I never said there was no gray areas. You know what I'm saying? I just said a lot of things are just black and white. You're always gonna have gray area. You know what I mean?
Right.
But a lot of things just to me
are black. Thinking of everything that's going on with, this side with the police saying this side with the people saying this side. Everybody got some input to put into everything. And everything just needs to be considered on a grand scale as far as what is the best move to make once everything starts to be put into the pot.
Absolutely.
A lot of times we feel like we will respond certain ways, but then what are we going to lose behind that action? What are we going to lose? Because unfortunately, sometimes people get off with self-defense, but a lot of times they do not. So now your whole life has changed off of one decision or your response to, something that's going on. So it's something that we as a people have to start to be more mindful about and, weigh some stuff out. And like Marcella said, sometimes you can get somebody else to go and handle some business for you, if need be, so that you can still take care of what you need to take care of. I used to get mad at the KKK because I'm like, oh, they some bitches, why they covering their face? We don't cover our face, we popping up. But look at, they got families, they got businesses, a lot of them is running the country. So they can't, expose that for that moment because of everything else that, they have to weigh out. And sorry, KKK was I'm anti-KKK, but that was a good example. Right. So now I want to know, what role does empathy, compassion, and mercy play in these type of situations? A lot of times they tell us, especially if you want to counseling and therapy, they tell you to put yourself in that other person's shoes. Because in anger, we killing for, we calling for life to end. We're acting and making sure that certain lives are ending, and some homes should. But overall, as a people, especially with this savage mentality, what role does empathy, compassion, and mercy play in these situations? Papa, I noticed you said that you started to become more of a forgiving person.
Yeah, I mean, you do. I was listening to when you said sometimes you got to get laid down, or some people have to get laid down. And I was one of them people at 19 years old that I had to lay myself down. Maybe not for 20 years in the joint, but I had to go up the river to change my lifestyle, to become more mature, to get more educated, to feel some real pain, to become, more of a productive product of my environment and my family. You know what I'm saying? So.
Yeah. So what you think, Marcella? Because you really wasn't trying to push the button on anybody during any other questions. So do you think that we should start to have more empathy and compassion and mercy for each other before just taking each other's heads off?
I mean, we do have a lot of empathy and compassion for people. We just, sometimes we just don't
Exercise.
take the bull. We don't take the bull crap. So, we do, have that for people, but sometimes you just got to be like, okay, I'm gonna try to sit back and just, watch things and pay attention to these people, and because I got compassion for a lot of people. I got compassion, but sometimes you just got to sit back and be like, let me see how this person really is, or let me go try to talk to them, and like you said, try to put yourself in their shoes. But sometimes it's hard to put yourself in somebody else's shoes.
Right. Certain things that certain people just would not do. It's a no-no. It's a no-no, and that's the bottom line.
You know what, Melanie? You spoke a lot within the last eight episodes, right? About a lot of relevant issues and things that are going on right now in the United States, as the people, the media, Chicago, and just 50 states worldwide. You've touched a lot. One thing I do want to say is how you spoke about CPS reform, and you spoke about police reform and everything like that. I think as a nation, as we go through this evolution, and this is just my opinion, I think it will help a lot if not only we as the people or the legislators or whoever's in a position to not only amend and rewrite some things for the police, for maybe the Chicago public school system, things that actually work. You know what I mean? Because so many of the laws, so many of the things that already have been implemented are so old that they have to be, evolved and make it modern, make it work.
Yeah, a lot of stuff is outdated.
So maybe another thing ethically that I think would work with this whole empathy and mercy and code of a moral conduct and walk of way of life would be if maybe, not only Chicago, not only New York, not only California, but the whole United States. You know how we got the pledge, you know how we got the Pledge of Allegiance? You know how we got the Pledge of Allegiance of America? So you know how we got the pledge. So maybe if we rewrote some pledges and as a people start to re-exercise and stuff and come back together, man, and really stand for something. Sometimes we forget where we come from. Sometimes we forget what we're supposed to be standing for. And
you know what we also do is try to rebuild the Black Wall Street. We can try that. We can try to, bad blocks and just like support each other. So as we support each other, we can rebuild each other. But see, a lot of the millionaires or billionaires, Black people, they're like, well, no, we don't want to do that, or we don't want to help. We got to get grants, or and we probably, if we do get these grants and write these grants, we can rebuild everything. We can rebuild our neighborhood. We can go talk to these kids like, look, y'all got to do like the Blackstone Rangers did. Help the people, help the grandmas, help, with food. You can still say
that's what a lot of these gangs were originally doing. And see, the government had a part in breaking up what these gangs were actually out here doing. Now, yeah, they was doing their other stuff, but a lot of them was making sure these boys had to go to school. You couldn't hang out on the block with them. You know what I'm saying? They would whoop your butt and send your butt to school. Like they were very respectful and stuff, like the elders and the ladies had to carry your bags and all kinds of stuff. And you knew that they was doing what they were doing, but they carried themselves in a whole nother matter. And then when something like, say, a child was molested, and they found out about it, they would go and handle that situation.
Right.
Because
Yeah.
we're talking about a lot of the possibility of community policing now within our neighborhoods, and so many people want to defund the police. So it's like, okay, we're going to start to entertain the idea of community policing. What guidelines should we start to set? Like, what is a necessary kill versus something that can be handled in another situation?
Right.
And we should be able to govern ourselves. Yeah.
I ain't gonna lie, I ain't called the police ever in my life. You know what I'm saying? For help at all. I went to the police department to follow. They stole my car. I filed a police report. You know what I'm saying? But I ain't never called them suckers to come and assist me with nothing ever. You know what I'm saying? My neighbors, I ain't never seen them call the police to come help with nothing. You know what I'm saying?
Sometimes you got to do stuff yourself.
Yeah.
You just got to try to.
Yeah. Yeah. And then, everybody, the thing about it is that if the police are called, they are actually supposed to show up and do their job and rectify the situation. But a lot of times, like with these disputes amongst neighbors, especially with families, relationship disputes, these police don't want to have nothing to do with that. They really don't. They really don't. The way they even show up on the scene is like they pass up. Especially when, families and relationships and stuff, a lot of times you start back re-engaging with that same person that you call the police on, or they call the police on you. So,
look,
we just.
So check this out. I was telling somebody, I was like, because you know how you whoop your kids now, and they be like, I'm gonna call the police. I say, you'd rather me whoop you, or rather the police kill you. Which one you want?
Right. That's something else that needs to be changed. I do not agree with that. They are talking about how these kids are running rapid, but you have tied the hands of the parents.
Right.
You need to give the parents back their rights. I still don't understand how we are fighting for a right. A right is something that is yours. You invoke a right. You declare a right. You shouldn't have to beg for a right. You shouldn't have to negotiate for a right that's yours. And then they saying that, because I asked police officers one day, what are they interacting with out here as far as the kids and stuff? And they were saying, well, the parents not doing their job. And then they expect us to come along and make everything better, but this stuff been going on in your house for half many years. They don't know your child. They don't know the dynamics of your family. But it's like at the same time, take the bounds off of the parent. It's a difference between punishing a child and disciplining a child. Punishment is for when you abusing a child and disciplining a child. Abuse is related to punishment. Discipline is related to teaching. The bottom line is so that your child can learn not to engage in certain behaviors, so that your child can understand what these behaviors are doing and how it's impacting them and the family. We talk about a little bit of everything here on the Chilove Radio Show. Pop Radio Worldwide, iHeartRadio, and Spotify.
It get deep right here, baby.
We talk about a little bit of everything here. And we, let it go into some detail about some stuff because some things need to be put on the table. And we don't like ugly things. We like the pretty stuff. That's what I gravitate to. But the ugly stuff is what is putting us in this predicament. And we have to start to say certain things, even within our own family. If you know that man molesting your child, you're wrong. But a lot of people feel like, well, they got molested, they got raped, they had to deal with it. So it's like the same thing for a child. And then, so it's just like, we just have a long way to go. But seeing that we all have a whole lot of, we have a lot more knowledge now than we did before. So we need to start to implement that and start to make changes, because where we thought we couldn't be the change, we can be the change. And if we need some help, and a lot of people going through anxiety right now, You can contact A True Resolve for Anxiety at 1773-227-3669, or the Community Counseling Centers of Chicago at 773-365-7277. Marcellus, I would like to thank you very much for joining me in the conversation today. Tell everybody where they can meet you and follow you and come get in shape, because you know you work out.
Oh yeah, I do a dance fitness class. I'll be on 39th and Cottage Grove on Thursdays, Fridays, Saturdays, and Sundays. Columbus Park on Tuesdays and Thursdays, sorry. And you can check me out on Marcellus Brown, Facebook, Instagram, Mr. Turned Up, on Instagram. And classes, I got different classes. So I got more afternoon classes for 30 minutes, and then I got night classes. So, just join me.
Turn up.
All right, so you all follow Marcellus. Get your health together.
What happened?
So thank you all very much. This was a very interesting and intriguing conversation that we had today. I like to see that you all were, there is more love in the world than people would like to admit. So we will see you all tomorrow with the Chilove Radio Show on Pop Radio Worldwide, iHeartRadio, and Spotify.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Marcellus, for blessing us, man. And everybody make sure to follow Mr. Turned Up. You know what I'm saying? Marcellus Brown. It's your boy, Prince of Pain, tuning out. Be back with y'all tomorrow from Pop Radio Worldwide, Chilove Radio Show, iHeartRadio, Spotify.